All right. All right, what's going on, guys? We're here, right here live, broadcasting on the tube. How's everybody doing? Let me make sure my stream is good. All right, we're here. Everybody's being notified that we're live right now. Let me let everybody know on Instagram live real quickly that we are doing our thing. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lots to talk about tonight. Where am I on here? Where am I on here? Come on, thing. Come on, goddammit. All right, let me find myself live. All right, people are coming on in the room. We in here. It's Sunday night. You know how we do on Sunday night. Y'all know how we do on Sunday night, family. Got that North Sentinel Island shirt popping, the sweater, nice and cozy for the chill season. Get you one of these in different colors at hiddencolorsfilm.com. Get these joints in multiple colors. We even got the hoodies. You can get these in hoodies. So we got it popping. Let me let folks know we're live right now. Hold on. We're live right now on YouTube. So swipe the hell up and join live. All right. Y'all bear with me. Once I do this, we're going to get the thing. We're going to get it cracking. All right. Boom, boom. And bam. All right, we dead. Bam. So I got all that done. We in here. People are climbing in the room. Let me adjust my shit so I can get right. Oh man, I'm on time tonight, man. I was 4 minutes late or something, but I'm on time. I'm on time tonight. Shout out to, let me see who's in the room. Plainfield, New Jersey. Shout out to I'm sounding better. Yes, my voice is good. Shout out to Houston. Yes, I was very hoarse last week, but my voice is back, so I'm ready. I haven't been able to chop it up like I've been wanting to chop it up, but boy, the voice is there. Still a little bit in there, but I'm good. I'm looking fresh. Shout out to Phoenix. Shout out to Houston. Again, let me put my condolences out to everybody in Houston. Now, for those who don't know, the little black girl, Jasmine. What's Jasmine's last name? My mind is all over the place right now. But our little girl, Jasmine, 7 years old, a little baby girl who was shot. The initial reports was that it was a suspected white supremacist who shot her in a red truck and drove off. Now they arrested two black dudes. And the word is that they thought, Jasmine Barnes, there you go. They thought that it was, they said it was gang related. They said that it was a case of mistaken identity. They said the dudes confessed. They said that they thought they were rival gang members. And I'm going to be very honest, I'm not 100% buying that shit. I'm going to be 100. It might be true. And I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody, but I have such a lack of trust for race soldiers, and I know how they lie. I know how they manipulate. I just don't 100% buy that. Now, it's a possibility, you dig? I'm going to be real. I still question that. That shit sounds hella janky to me. It sounds just hella janky. Also, I know for a fact, we know that down there in Texas, you got white supremacists who have infiltrated law enforcement down there. Also, I know that they can coerce people to confess to certain crimes. Remember, they did that to the Central Park Five. They coerced them to confess to a crime they didn't do. So they'll coerce you. They'll get you in that room and, they got all types of tactics to get you in that room and be like, look here, Jamal, say you did it. Now, you might not have done it, but we got a lot of evidence on you, man. We got some ballistics with your prints on it. Man, I ain't got no... I know you're saying that, but man, we got your prints, bro. We got your prints. You're going to get the death penalty, bro. I mean, look, work with me, Jamal. Let me help you. Let me help you. Just say you did it. And, you know, I'll make sure, I'll give you my word that we won't let you get the death penalty because you're going to go down anyway. So just work, just say you did it. And if you say you did it, we'll be a little light on you. You won't get the death penalty. You understand what I'm saying? They do little shit like that. So these dumb niggas, yeah, shit, okay, I did it. What you need me to say? Then you go and confess. Then they wheel you out. So I understand the tactics. I don't trust everything that they say. I just don't. That sounds fishy. How he went from a white guy to two black dudes. That sounds fishy. It might be true, but the fact that the race soldiers have created an atmosphere of such mistrust, you and I are correct in not trusting their narrative. So what's interesting, when everybody was looking for a white suspect, the media was very quiet on this. The media was very quiet on this. The media was quiet. Now, the minute they arrested a couple of black dudes, everybody jumped on this shit. Now it started trending. All the media, all of a sudden, they found out about the story. So they jumped on it, and all the white supremacists like, y'all were race baiting. Oh, Sean King was race baiting. Oh, Tariq was race baiting. They're hopping up in my thing, talking about some damn race baiting. First of all, the information we got was from the damn chief of police. The chief of police told people to look out for a white guy. It ain't like you white supremacists who beat yourself up and then make up a non-existent black person who beat you up. We didn't do the shit that you do. This was a real crime. The police officers were telling us who to look for. It ain't like how y'all be doing. You beat yourself up, you slam your head in a door, and then go make up a story about how some random unknown black person or non-existent black person beat you up and rape you. And then you put up a GoFundMe page to try to finesse the game. That's race baiting. Yeah, there was a sketch. They put out a sketch to look for. So I don't want to hear shit from a damn white supremacist. Y'all make up imaginary Negroes every damn day. Y'all always talking about how some non-existent Negro robbed you. Somebody done rape you who didn't exist. Y'all do that bullshit all the time. We got sketches and eyewitnesses account, and it was really mistaken identity. What they said was the white man that they saw in the red truck, when he heard the shots, he just took off driving. And he was driving fast after he heard the shots. That's the narrative that they're saying. Because they do have video footage of the truck driving off. So they're saying that the white man in the truck was driving off because he was scared. But again, I don't trust too many of the narratives. You know, I'm going to need more evidence. I don't believe that whole gang related, that's just way too convenient. Cats in Houston ain't gang banging like that. Where are my Houston people? You got some G's, you got some street cats, but cats in Houston, they ain't banging like that. Niggas ain't banging like that. It's gang related. Whenever they say gang related, that's too dismissive for me. That's real dismissive. You dig? So one of the black dudes they call look mentally challenged. Yeah, both of those dudes look real weird. Shout out to Houston in the house. Yeah, niggas, this ain't. I just don't believe dudes out here doing a drive-by. Just put yourself in the mind of a gangbanger. I live in LA, man. I grew up out here. Since I was a teen, I grew up out here. I came up out here in LA, so I've been around all the gangs. I know the mentality that goes into cats going out here G-riding. One thing, niggas ain't doing it that early in the morning. This is just based on history that I've seen. Everything is possible. I'm playing the devil's advocate. But you up at what time in the morning was this shit? I heard it was real early in the morning. I heard it was real early in the morning. What time did this happen? Let's just talk about this shit. Yeah, wasn't the shit at 7 a.m.? What the fuck they doing up at, what gangsters doing up at 7 a.m.? Strapped. You don't, okay, man, you don't G-ride at 7 fucking a.m. What's, the gangsters had to go get some grits at the Waffle House? That's what, the little shit like that is throwing me off. Just being around that shit. I ain't never seen niggas roll out and ride on people at 7 in the morning and then clap somebody on a mistaken identity. You up at 7 in the morning and you assume some other gangsters that you got beef with, they're up at 7 in the morning too. Are y'all Dunkin' Donut employees? That don't add up to me. I don't know, man. It just sounds fishy. They donating plasma. Are these niggas telemarketers? What they doing up that early? What you doing up that early strapped G-riding? That don't make no sense, man. I mean, just think about it. Speak it. When you talk it, it don't sound right. Gangsters just don't get up that early. Niggas who's about that gunplay life. Dudes out here hitting cars and doing drive-bys. You ain't up that early. Looking for other gangsters that's up that early. That don't add up. And the narrative is that it was a mistaken identity. Oh, okay, man. All right. All right. Okay. You know, I have to see more information. I just have to see more information. I don't give a damn about them talking about somebody confess. They coerce confessions out of people all the time, dude. They coerce confessions all the time. So that is what it is. But again, shout out to the people of Texas. Shout out to the family there. Now we gotta touch on a lot of stuff that's going on with Shea Butter. With Shea Butter Twitter. Today's broadcast is called Sex, Lies, and Shea Butter. Because we gotta talk about a lot of the reaction to the Surviving R. Kelly show. Now, I did a broadcast the other day going in depth about it when the show was going on, and still there's a lot of talk after. There's a lot of discussion after. You dig? There's a lot of talk. And the thing about that show, many of you seen it. Now, I will say this. It was a well put together documentary. Well put together. As a documentary filmmaker myself, it was a well put together documentary. There was a lot of bullshit surrounding it. Some of the people in there were very questionable. But I'm just talking, just from a cinematic standpoint, and it was cool. It was very interesting. It kept you engaged from that perspective. There was some fuckery in there, just some of the people involved. And I talked about this the other day, how you had a lot of people involved who were connected with that Shea Butter, Ebony, Jet, Root, Vibe crowd. Essence, all of these people, Essence Magazine, a lot of people connected with these black media outlets were part of this documentary. And the fact that they were on there talking all this bullshit about how the black community allowed and enabled R. Kelly and the industry enabled R. Kelly, and I'm looking at them, y'all niggas were the ones working at these publications that were putting him on the covers of these magazines. Ebony had him on the cover of their magazine. This is after, they knew he was with Aaliyah. Vibe had him on their cover 7 times. Essence, he performed at the Essence Fest twice. So, black people, particularly the Shea Butters, we have a very bad habit of collectively being fake as fuck. We like to get around each other and collectively start engaging in lies around each other. That's some shit we're going to have to cut out. People have been knowing about R. Kelly for years, okay? The white supremacists came around, snapped their fingers, and said, be outraged right now, and niggas jumped up and started acting outraged. Y'all niggas are phony for that bullshit. And I put up a tweet not too long ago asking a question, because every time we point out the real agenda behind this, because my thing is, you can look at the shit that R. Kelly did, which was horrible, and there was some very interesting things that was revealed in the documentary, which were horrible, which we've heard about already. But when we acknowledge the horrific things that was popping off with R. Kelly, but we also acknowledge the people who's bringing this information to us and why they're bringing it to us and what they're covering up themselves, a lot of the bought and paid for shea butter Negroes are told by their paymasters to start trying to attack. So if you say, hey, how come those same producers, the people funding this, how come they're not targeting all the hundreds of other white people in Hollywood who's doing this stuff? Oh, don't you talk about that. Don't you talk about that. Man, you making excuses for R. Kelly. You making excuses for pedophiles. It's all about the women. It's all about the women. It's all about the girls. Black girl matter. Black girl. That's phony as fuck. That's what I don't like. I don't like this fake, phony, bullshit-ass concern that these shea butters are pretending to have for black girls now who are victims of these sexual predators. That's phony. And the girls who are watching this, because there's little black girls watching, they know their asses are phony. Do y'all understand what I'm saying here? When these middle-aged shea butter bedwenches are out here with this fake pretend that they're concerned, and all they're doing is showing out for white mommy. They're showing out for the white women who's throwing them a couple of crumbs from these white organizations. This whole fake, the girls, we got to give the girls a voice. It's all about the girls now. Why are you talking about white supremacy? What they're doing, they're trying to give cover to Zaddy. Somebody in the room said, how was it fake? I'll tell you how it's fake, because they've been knowing this shit for 20 goddamn years and didn't say nothing, didn't do nothing. They were working at these magazines. They were the ones pumping out R. Kelly and promoting them. Now that white mommy then came in and said, hey, be outraged. All of a sudden you bucking your eyes. Oh, Lord, he did what? Lord Jesus. What? Let me clutch my pearls. That's why you fake as fuck. That's why you fake. Fake as hell. And they don't give a shit about no damn black girls. This is all about showing out for mommy, white mommy. Niggas love showing out and acting fake and pretending they didn't know some shit that was going on. And these little black girls see this. My thing is this. And niggas be like, it don't matter who brought the information. We just need to be concerned with the girls. It don't even matter who brought it. It don't matter. And I ask this question. If a serial killer came to your neighborhood and said, hey, black people, there's a rapist running around your neighborhood, man. You got to be careful. Now, you acknowledge the rapist, But do you ignore the serial killer? That's the question. Everybody say what's up to my player partner, Ola. I can really Euro. Shout out to Ola. Everybody say what's up to Ola. Ola's in the house. Y'all gotta give Ola a shout out. Everybody in here, give my dude Ola a shout out. But just because someone comes to you and says there's a rapist in your neighborhood, and that person telling you is a serial killer, do you ignore the serial killer? And that's the whole dilemma with this thing. You got the shea butter feminists trying to get us to ignore the serial killers who's bringing this information. That's the thing I won't do. I'm not ignoring them. And I'm definitely not going to pretend that they're bringing this information because they care about the well-being of black girls. We can't be that dumb. And most of these niggas ain't that dumb. They are pretending to be dumb because white mommy and white daddy has kicked them down a couple of crumbs. And the thing is with this R. Kelly thing, this show, my thing, let it be a good documentary. You can have a good documentary without this other outside agenda. The name of the game with this agenda, paid for by the suspected white supremacist who's funding it, and I talked about that the other day. When you peel the layers back, one of the people behind this, who's directly connected with this, is a woman named Abigail Disney. That is the great relative of Walt Disney. So she's still clicked into the Disney Corporation. Also, this show came on the Lifetime channel. Lifetime is part owned by Disney. So it's all some clicked in shit. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't like some sisters got together. No, this was a corporate move. This was a strategic corporate move. Do you understand me? And when was the last time a corporation gave a fuck about any black kids? So we got to look at it from all perspectives. We can acknowledge what's going on film, but I'm looking at who's behind it and what their real agenda is. Their real agenda is to really change the face of the Me Too movement and put black faces on it, to ignore all of these hundreds of white men who's getting caught out there with charges, and really put a black face on it, just like the white feminist movement has always done. They've always found a way to create a black boogeyman, rape, sexual predator narrative. That's the oldest thing in this country. The white women's movement was built on that. Do y'all understand me? The white women's movement in this country was built on the black boogeyman narrative. When Susan B. Anthony and all those other white supremacist women first started, they were abolitionists first, and that was a hustle within itself too. And I talked about that before, that whole abolitionist hustle where, oh, look at these poor black people, send us some money. So they trot black folks out and then you send them some money. See, that's where the feminist movement came from that. They've always used us. Look, this poor black person is on a plantation. He's hungry, he's starving. Look at how he's being treated down there. It's always somewhere over there, not us. We're not like that. We're civilized white people in the north because there ain't no niggas up here. But down there, oh, look how they treat them. Oh my God, send us all your money so we can help them. They get that money and pocket it. And the minute they gave black men the right to vote on paper, it was all on paper because black men would still get lynched when they actually tried to vote. That's why the Klan was created. The Klan was created to terrorize black men who wanted to vote. But when black men got the right to vote over white women, oh my God. Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Canton, all their rhetoric changed. They were like, how dare y'all let these niggas vote? What the hell? You let these dumbass niggas vote? Go look up some of the shit they were saying about black people. Go study Susan B. Anthony. So watch, whenever they try to give props to Susan B. Anthony, she was racist as hell. Elizabeth Canton was racist as hell. All them white feminists were racist as fuck. You dig? So there's always been an agenda. So the name of the game is to put a black face on this. And you had a lot of the Shea Butters on Twitter talking about, well, look, they're working on some movies for this person. I saw somebody, one of the Shea Butters, talking about, well, black men need to stop saying, what about the white men? Some of the white men are being punished too. The gymnast guy, the guy who was the gymnast teacher, well, Nazar, that's his name, right? Well, Nazar went to jail. Well, Nazar, how many girls did this motherfucker rape? I mean, he was raping white, black, Asian. How many? He raped hundreds of girls. I mean, damn, look at how many he had to rape in order to get sentenced. And, I mean, it was in the hundreds. I'm like, damn. Then she mentioned, well, Epstein, he went to jail. Wait a minute. So it ain't about race. I mean, some of these white men are going to jail. Let me tell you something. Jeffrey Epstein, ain't he a billionaire? Let me tell you something. He went to jail. Epstein, they had him, how many girls did he rape? How many girls did Epstein, that they say he raped? How many girls did they say he raped? Is it Jeffrey or Jerry Epstein? Yeah, how many girls was Epstein? How many victims did he have? Dude, Epstein did 13 months. He didn't even go to prison. They had him in like a work release program. Epstein did 13 months in a work release. It wasn't even real jail. It was like a secondary jail somewhere where they let him bring in his own security. Epstein, it was a resort. Don't let nobody run that game on you. Epstein did 13 months in a work release program. They let him out every day to go to his office. Yeah, it was 8 hours a day. He was able to leave and go kick it, but it was some shit where you had to check in at night. Get the fuck out of here. So don't even try to compare Epstein. He got a slap on the wrist. They let that dude float up out of jail. It was a halfway house. After this dude done raped dozens and dozens and dozens of girls. And where's the documentary on that? That'll be a hell of a documentary. That's the hell of a documentary right there. Where's that? Nigga, that was a hotel. They had him in a timeshare. That wasn't even no jail. It was like at least 80-something. Yeah. So yeah, let's not pretend that this don't have racial undertones to it. Let's not pretend it doesn't have racial undertones to it. You did? So the thing is, with this R. Kelly thing and Shea Butter Twitter and their lies, they kept trying to frame this thing into somehow black men are responsible. They kept trying to make R. Kelly a proxy for black men. That's the whole name of this. That's the whole objective of this. And they kept trying to deny it. Every time people would point it out, they kept trying to deny it. And I talked about this the other day when Nelson George, and again, I like Nelson George, but he said some fuck shit in there. When he said, well, you know, age ain't nothing but a number. That's kind of a thing in the black community. You know, I would go to the barbershop and, you know, a cute young girl walk by and the men would be in there talking about ages ain't nothing but a number. So that was kind of a thing around black barbershops. That was bullshit right there. And I called him out on that on Twitter. We were going back and forth on Twitter. That was some bullshit right there. Hell no, we don't talk like that in no damn barbershop. Dudes ain't at barbershops ain't sitting around talking about, oh, that underage girl, shit, age ain't nothing but a number. Niggas don't do that in no damn barbershop, man. I've been to barbershops all over this country. I ain't never seen brothers sitting around talking about some underage girl who age ain't number the number. I ain't never seen no shit like that. And Nelson ain't either. Nelson, I gotta call bullshit on that, man. And I fuck with Nelson heavy. Nelson has done great work in the industry as a writer, as an author. But my nigga, Nelson, brother, you got on one tap shoe, brother. I'm hearing one tap. I'm hearing one tap, brother. Boy, that one you got on one tap shoe. We don't want you to put the other one on, Nelson George. We don't want you to put the other tap shoe on, brother, but boy, you were tapping. Man. But again, I kept seeing this theme of black men allowing, and they were talking about this in some of the Shea Butter Twitter feminists who hate black men. They kept running with this narrative, man, black men are trash. How black men let this happen? Black men enabled this. Black men didn't do nothing. Let me tell you something. Because people were on some shit, well, yeah, R. Kelly got away with this because it was black girls, and if it was somebody else, it was black girls, so nobody cared. It was black girls and nobody cared. They were running with that narrative. That's not a true narrative. It wasn't because they were black girls and nobody cared that R. Kelly got away with this. It wasn't because black men didn't do this or didn't do that. That's not it. The reason why nothing happened to R. Kelly, and he's been doing this shit for 20, 30 years, is one simple thing. No woman has ever pressed charges against R. Kelly. That's what they don't tell you. No female has never pressed charges against R. Kelly. There are no charges, no criminal charges. There has not been criminal charges against R. Kelly filed by none of these girls or women or their family or nothing. It hasn't been. That's what it is right there. R. Kelly ain't getting no kind of pass, no man pass. This is what I don't like. They kept trying to make it seem like he had some kind of privilege, some kind of special privilege where they couldn't prosecute him. Do you know they would love to get R. Kelly? The prosecutors would love to get R. Kelly. R. Kelly ain't shit to them. They would love to get a big fish. They would love to get a big fish. They would love to prosecute R. Kelly. None of the women are cooperating. Nobody pressed charges against him. Boom. I mean, let's just keep it 100. Then I talked about this on social media. Niggas was like, that's because the family was getting paid off. Exactly. And that's the problem. Y'all were pimping your daughters out. That's the point. These niggas were out here pimping out their children to R. Kelly. We got to talk about the bigger issue within black society. Do you understand? That's why we're going to have to talk about it. We got a hood rat hoe mentality going on with a lot of folks out here. You a hood rat hoe and you treat your daughter like one and y'all were pimping your fucking kids out. So y'all can sit here and try to deflect and all the victims, oh, what about the victims? And y'all be the same motherfuckers out here setting your kids out. We got that mentality. We got that hood hoe welfare mentality. You'll do anything for a fucking buck. That's why we always talk about when black folks get killed, you sit up here and cry until a check is written, then all of a sudden you bucking your eyes, talking about, well, it wasn't really about race. Do you love me? Do you love me? The minute somebody give you a check, that's a hoe mentality. That's a hood rat hoe mentality. You will sell you'll let your family member get killed so you can get a bag. We got to talk about that shit. That's an issue that we have in our society. We've been taught to value nigger trinkets. We'll sell each other out for some fucking nigger trinkets. You dig? And a lot of these women who were involved with these girls that they up here fronting about now, they were the ones setting them out. Come on. Now let's look at some of the women that were on there. They had Andrea Kelly on there, R. Kelly's wife. Now, she was on there going off and, oh, he's a monster. I didn't know who I was with. I didn't know. Yes, you did, Andrea. Oh, Andrea. And I like Andrea, but Andrea, yes, you did. You knew. You didn't know that motherfucker was a pervert and had all those girls around and all that shit. And y'all in the same house, you knew some of the fuck shit he had going on. I ain't buying that, because when she was on TV, people were live tweeting some Instagram posts and videos she made like a month ago where she's driving around in the car bragging about her baby daddy. Oh, this is my baby daddy on the radio. So people were showing, hey, you just a few weeks ago, you were on some other shit. You didn't have all this energy a few weeks ago. So look, did the child support check come through? It didn't come through. Come on, man. We got to stop the fronting. We got to stop the fronting. We do a lot of fronting out here. You dig? There's a lot of faking of the funk. And they had Sparkle on there. Now, Sparkle was on there. Now, Sparkle, she said that was her niece, I think, who was in that R. Kelly tape getting peed on. And she was the one who brought the girl to the studio to meet R. Kelly. And they up there acting like, oh, I didn't know he was going to do all that. I didn't know. Oh, Lord. Now, after the series ended, this came out right here. Sparkle drops a new single after the final episode of Surviving R. Kelly. Okay? So now people are looking at that real funny style. You dig? People are looking at that real funny style. All that crying, oh, the victims, oh, my niece, oh, Lord Jesus. Buy my single, though. My new single is popping. Oh, man, the clout chasing. This is why little black girls see people being phony, acting like they're so concerned about them. This makes them even more bitter. This makes them even more bitter. We got too many people fronting. I don't like them using black girls, propping them up, and using pain and suffering that black girls go through to be phony, to get clout for your damn self. Oh, Lord, I can't believe this. What happened to these girls, these babies? We got to talk about these babies. We got to give them a voice. And that's another thing I don't like either. These white supremacist females, they create, on the R. Kelly show, the special, every commercial was talking about the Me Too movement, donate, that Me Too shit, they bring in a lot of money. And they'll prop you up and make money off you and don't give you shit. The Shea Butter feminists, they get a couple of crumbs, but all these black girls that they propping up, notice they don't give them shit. Now with white women, White women suffering, boy, the money comes down, it drizzles down. They get institutions built, they get employment opportunities, they build institutions and financial institutions to help them with tangible things. They don't give these black girls shit. That's why I'm saying openly, you Me Too movement, if you're so serious, give my nonprofit organization $2 million. I will go out here and we'll get people to build institutions and hire some of these little black girls out here so they will be less likely to get caught up as victims of this type of sexual predator behavior. We'll get them on staff. We'll give them employment opportunities. Give my organization, my nonprofit, $2 million of all those tens of millions of dollars that you get. See, when it comes to doing something for black kids, all of a sudden they start talking about giving them intangibles. Yeah, we're giving them a voice. Okay, meaning, and I told y'all that's the white feminists, what they'll do. They bring Negroes around and just let them get their emotions out. Then after they get their emotions out, oh, that was so bad. Okay, have a nice day. So the white women go get all that money while you got your emotions out. They're getting that money and counting it and divvying it up among each other. You dig? Bust that bag open and get them sisters something. Put it through my nonprofit. I'll get it to them 100%. See, they like exploiting black girls, and the black girls see that. They see that, and they see the white women trying to exploit them. Because normally, Shea Butter Twitter is usually these old burnt out ass hood chicks who ain't got the looks to catch. It's the Shea Butter Twitter is these old middle-aged broads who just out the game. But these young girls out here, they see these fake ass Shea Butters and the white supremacist women who support them. They see them exploiting them. These girls are looking at these Shea Butters on Twitter pretending to be so concerned. Oh, Lord, man, y'all need to stop talking about white supremacy and think about our girls. This is about our girls. And these women's own daughters are sitting at home like, this bitch didn't even do my hair this morning. What is she talking about? This bitch let her boyfriend try to touch me and didn't do nothing when I told her. The fuck is my mama talking about? You understand? Little girls see the bullshit. Little black girls are very smart. I have a black daughter, beautiful child. Little girls are very smart. You dig? So they hear this bullshit. They see how fake and phony the Shea Butters are. The Shea Butter feminists. And they mamas. They see how phony these Negroes are, their parents. And then that makes them rebel and want to go out here because then the dad ain't around. So no wonder they up here around predator ass R. Kelly calling them daddy and all this shit. And they see that the mamas and the family don't really give a shit because all you got to do is pay the family off and they'll shut up. Remember, the girl in the video where she was getting peed on, remember, that little girl's family was like, that ain't her. That girl, well, she was an adult at the time, but by the time she grew up, her and her family was like, yeah, that's not her in that video. That's why they had to throw the shit out. That's why you got to quit it. They're like, oh, that ain't me. That ain't me. No, that's not our relative. You dig? So the fact that you will allow somebody can sexually violate your kid and all they got to do is kick you down some money. You don't have a family, you have a goddamn brothel. Do you understand me? And the fact that he can buy off everybody, that's the problem. That's the brothel mentality that we have going on out here in these hoods. You dig? So we got to stop trying to lie to these kids and stop trying to run game on these kids. And understand the shea butter feminists are useless as fuck. Because understand, whenever something happens to a black girl, the girl or the family, they ain't calling shea butter Twitter. If something happens to a black girl out here, some kind of criminal activity, or they get violated somehow, they're not calling Jamila. They're not calling Fraudinista. They're not calling one of these chicks at Ebony or Essence. They're calling me. They're calling other brothers like Jason Black or Professor Black Truth. They're calling brothers out here who stay on the necks of white supremacy. They ain't calling no goddamn Jamila or nobody like that. My emails are full of, hey, this happened to me. My sisters hit me up every day. Hey, this is happening to me at my job. I need help. This is happening to me at school. I need help. You dig? They're calling brothers because they know shea butters and they mammies ain't gonna really do shit. When the shit goes down, they mammy can't do nothing. You understand? We got to get shit right in these families, man. We got to really get these family structures right. We got to get these family structures where they need to be. And we can't do it with these shea butter bedwenches out here. I mean, we were retweeting stuff. Some of the shit the shea butter bedwenches were saying. All this black men need to shut up and listen. Black men, if you look at the profiles of many of those shea butter bedwenches, it's zaddy worship all day. We were exposing so many of them. A lot of it was just zaddy worship all day. Zaddy worship, zaddy worship, zaddy worship. And we got to understand the type of people we have out here among black society. We have a lot of sleeper cells out here. A lot of these people are acting as sleeper cells. There was a tweet, my man Ricky Rawls, he found this tweet. Shout out to Ricky Rawls. My man Ricky Rawls, he has a podcast called Champagne Sharks. Y'all need to check that out too. But this was a tweet that he brought to everybody's attention. One of these shea butter coon immigrants. And this is why y'all see that I've been on a lot of these shea butter coon immigrants' case for a minute, or lately, because they're stepping up their coonery. A lot of shit, they're stepping their coonery up. And their rhetoric is getting more dangerous. Look at this. Some chick, she's one of these first or second gen African immigrants, put this tweet up today, actually. She said, it's a picture of Beyonce doing a machine gun. It was a gif of Beyonce acting like she's shooting a machine gun. And she said, this is me secretly taking out some Kishit black men. Kishit, that means straight black men. That's their little epithet for straight black people. Straight black people, we get an epithet. So it's Kishit. That's an epithet for black people who are not gay. Me secretly taking out some Kishit black men during the race wars revolution, because fuck them too. Okay? This is what we got out here, family. This is what we got out here. Is it Sitchit? I thought it was Kitchit. Is it Sitchit or Kitchit? Sitchit. Okay. All right. Family. Sitchit. I'm sorry. Sitchit. It changes every day. These different fucking words. But I'm telling you how some of these, they vet these coons. and they let them over here and they have vitriol towards us. They know who to get. Shout out to Danny Michael, man. Much respect to you, brother. Could be a rushing. I know. I don't know. That's a real person. Sitchin, yeah. Understand. Y'all think that might be a joke? If some shit really went down, we better understand that a lot of Negroes would be helping the white supremacists. We better understand that. If some shit went down, that's not a joke. She's acting like it's a joke. Listen, if some shit went down, you better believe that a lot of Negroes will be helping the white supremacists. It has happened every time. Every time there was a slave rebellion or black folks were attacked, there was always some Negroes assisting the white supremacists against other black people because they don't think that they're the same as us. They think there's something else. They don't think they're the same. We got to understand that they're vetting coons now because, see, a few years ago, they would be a little more relaxed about who they would bring over. Now, they're making sure that coon parents are coming over here so they'll have some coon kids. They're really vetting, and that's what we see with a lot of African immigrants. Either they are some riders, meaning they've rejected any form of coonery, and they're very thorough, which I know a lot of. I know a gang of African immigrants who are extremely thorough. Or, because there ain't no in between. Either they're extremely thorough and about that life, or they're coonish to the bone. It ain't even no in between. You dig? So we better watch out. We got to start vetting people among us, and watch the kind of information we get. Because what's interesting, notice that these are the people who work at white media outlets acting as the voice of black society. These are the people who act as the voice of black society. You know? And it's very important for them to screen African immigrants like that. Now, like I said, a lot of thorough ones slip through the cracks. They don't like that. They don't want an African immigrant or a Caribbean immigrant coming over here that has not been coon vetted. Like back in the day, you would have Caribbean immigrants like Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was a Caribbean. He was from Jamaica. They didn't vet Garvey, so Garvey came over here with that fucking fire and mobilized millions of black people. They were like, oh, shit. Whoa. The FBI had to get on him fast. They're like, oh, we got to watch these Caribbean. We got to watch some of these niggas coming over there. And then you had Africans going to the Caribbean. They bring in a certain energy. You had Haile Selassie going over there to Jamaica. Bam. They create the whole Rastafarian religion behind that when he gets over there. Yes, Stokely Carmichael. You had us going back and forth with each other. Remember, the early African leaders in the 1960s, man, Patrice Lumumba, they were talking some real shit. Remember, they were like, oh, we got to assassinate these niggas. We got to assassinate these Negroes. You dig? Kwame Ture, yeah. They're like, oh no, we gotta vet these dudes. We can't have these Negroes coming over here with that real African spirit, because understand, the real African spirit is a motherfucker. And it comes over here and we start latching onto that, and then they get our energy and we start clicking. Oh, that's a problem. The U.S. helped kill. Yeah, man. The U.S. Hell, the CIA basically admitted to killing Patrice Lumumba, Jomo Kenyatta, all those cats. You know? So, they kind of have to stomp that spirit out. They don't want that spirit. They don't want that spirit connecting. Yeah, they don't want that spirit connecting. And then, you had some of us going over there a lot too. Malcolm was over there a lot. W.B. Du Bois, when he got off the coon train, because W.E.B. got on the coon train for a minute. Then he got the idea when he got older. Then he went over to Ghana, and he's buried in Ghana, by the way. But they were like, no, we're going to have to start coon vetting. We're going to have to start making sure that we don't get nothing but coons over here. And I've been over there, and I talked about this in sisters. I remember when I went to Zimbabwe, and I told y'all. They were telling me in order to get a visa to come to the U.S., boy, they got to, they're told to, when you go in there, just, kind of change your name a little bit. They were told to, by other people within the community, you got to kind of change your name to make it sound more American. You got to act a certain way. So I'm like, well, damn, y'all, we call that cooning back home. I mean, damn. You dig? So they didn't came up, and that thing started in the 70s when they started to really coon vet. They started to coon vet a lot. Now, again, yeah, we're in here heavy, man. We're in here heavy. We are in here heavy. Now, again, certain energy cannot be contained. Certain energy can't be destroyed. You still will have riders here and there. You'll still have riders. You'll still have people come over, or the sons or daughters of certain immigrants who come over who have that rider spirit. They still got that spirit, and then they'll rebel against their parents' coonery, which a lot of kids do. And normally the kids, the African cats who rebel against their parents who's on the coon train, those are the riders. A lot of them are the riders. Sometimes your parents are coons, just like sometimes we know our parents are coons. American descendants of slaves, we know that we got some coon relatives. You dig? So your grandmother had to be basically, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Yeah. So, we got to start looking at some of these folks when they get around white mommy, white daddy. And again, y'all remember when the sister called my show a few weeks ago, the sister who was adopted by those white supremacists who work for the damn CDC. And I got to find out where she is. I got to check on her. So you saw the hell she was going through. Yeah, don't come over here and get sponsored by a suspected white supremacist family. Now you saw the shit that sister was going through around those white supremacists, and she still had the wherewithal to reject that shit. See, some of us, you got to be real strong to reject that type of programming somebody's trying to. I mean, that was like 12 years a slave with that sister. The shit they were doing to her. The psychological torture. And she was still able to not internalize that and still be a rider. But just imagine certain people who ain't that strong, who they bring over some immigrants, and they done all types of shit to them in some of these white supremacist enclaves, and then they release them on black society. And that's what you have right here. Somebody talking about, if there's a race war, I'm shooting some of these niggas over here. That's somebody who's been around, not just coon vetted. That person has been around white mommy and white daddy. That person's been around a zaddy. That's bedwench talk right there. I haven't heard from Bracy Face, man. Yeah, with Bracy, her mom was on the train, man. And there was nothing Bracy Face would ask me, and I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up. For example, this y'all remember there's a little girl, Bracy Face, on Instagram. She would hit me up for advice all the time. They would hit me up for advice all the time. Speaking of helping little black girls, little Bracy face, she's 14 years old. She would hit me up and ask for advice on different things and how to navigate around white supremacy. And she would hit me up every blue moon talking some coon shit. I'm like, where did you get that from? She was talking about, yeah, I was listening to Candace Owens. Candace Owens was making some good points about black on black crime. I said, sweetie, where are you getting this from? What are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, Kanye made some good points. I'm like, oh, God. What's up, Tamar? How are you? I said, Bracy, where are you getting this from? Sweetie, where are you getting this from? Then I had a little Twitter convo. Well, I think it was on Instagram. I had a conversation with her mom. I'm like, where's your daughter? Where's she getting this from? Because I said, I need to talk to your mom. Her mom, she was getting it from her mom. Her mom is on that coon shit. Her mom was talking some shit. Well, I'm going to send her to the black conservatives meeting at the White House with Donald Trump Jr. I said, oh, God. Oh, God. I want my daughter to grow up around thugs. I said, oh, it's the mama, the bunny ruckus ass mama that already poisoned this baby's mind. So I'm like, I said, there's nothing I can tell you, sweetie. I told her, I can't talk to you. Your mom is telling you one thing, so you got to listen to your mom. I'm not your parent. There's nothing I can really tell you, sister. But it was her mom. Her mom was coon vetting her. Her mom is about to make her the next Diamond and Silk. This is what I'm saying. We got these black parents who's on some stupid shit, man. And you'll send your babies out there to the wolves. Yeah, that hurt me because she was a smart little girl, man. And this girl wanted the answers. She's wanting the answers. This smart little kid, and she's at that age, man. She's at that age. So this baby wants the answers, and you got your mom turning you into a baby coon. Like, damn. Yeah, and that's the thing. We got these parents who's on some bullshit out here. You got parents who's on some, they've been damaged by life. They don't like themselves. They don't like other black people. So what you do, you program your children to be professional white ass kissers. Because you like, well, I don't want them to struggle like I had to, so they better learn how to just act real good around white peoples. It's that type of thing. I can't. That's where it starts in the home. It starts in the home. And then we go back to the R. Kelly thing. Understand, people can point the fingers any way they want to point them. But the reality is, a lot of these families, a lot of these mothers were selling their children to R. Kelly. And they can't point the finger at imaginary black men. The only black man who's fucked up in that is R. Kelly, and all these other ones are complicit. And even looking at that R. Kelly thing, the show, you had some older women who was getting with R. Kelly, getting with this whole sex cult thing. And you got women who like, I met R. Kelly, I was 33 years old, and now what the fuck you crying for? You knew what this nigga was about. You knew what the hell the business was. What's up? Huh? Yeah.
Just like appetizer for them or a salad?
The chicken nachos get kind of soggy, right?
Yeah, you don't want that.
Okay.
That's too big.
Too big, yeah.
You want a salad?
Don't want no damn salad. What else? What else? What's from the
chicken chili?
What else?
Like I'm getting the chicken lettuce wraps.
Oh.
You want the Thai ones?
Give me the Thai lettuce wraps. That'd be good. All right, sorry about that, guys. Oh yeah. The chick, yeah, this chick, she was a DJ in Dallas or somewhere. So she quit her job to go be one of R. Kelly's groupie hoes, because that's what it was, a bunch of groupie hoes. And R. Kelly's trying to live out some pimp fantasy because this nigga, he's all fucked up in the brain because his sister molested him and his brothers. So this nigga has a fetish where he has to control and dominate women. He's trying to emulate some pimping, but it's really some more insecure simp shit where he has to smack chicks around and make them do what he wants them to do. That's some he's trying to he in his mind he's trying to make it seem like it's some pimping. It ain't. It ain't. It's some real simpy ass bullshit he's doing and some role playing fuckboy shit. And these older women, they should know better. They out here with these, having threesomes and all, just real dirty ass bullshit they doing. And they acting like they didn't know because on the documentary, when they started going to some of these older women, it's like, okay, now you knew what the hell you was getting into with this bullshit. Now you knew this nigga was a pervert. You dig? Yeah, he's recreating his aggressor. And also, you notice a lot of the women damn near look the same. They all have the same look. They all have the same look. There's some real deep shit that's going on with R. Kelly. And that's another thing we got to talk about, too. When we talk about molestation, one thing that's never talked about, and I talked about this the other day, how black boys are molested. There's a lot of black boys who are molested, and that fucks with them heavy. And again, I talked about how Iceberg Slim was molested. That made him a real stomp down pimp. Another pimp guy that I know, Pimpin' Ken, and I think he's talked about this publicly. He was molested by a woman, and he said this publicly, I think, so I can speak on that. A lot of folks, Ike Turner. Do you know Ike Turner was molested by women when he was a kid? Ike Turner was molested. So now this nigga, get the cake anime, so everything, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't justify the shit, but you gotta see the kind of folks that shit creates. Yeah, Ike Turner was molested. Comedian D. Ray Davis was molested. Charlemagne was molested by women when he was a kid. He goes to therapy for that now. You dig? You dig? So you was molested by your aunt. And there's a lot of women molested by older women too. Antoine Fisher. Yeah. So Ike was just crazy as hell. But where did that come from? Where did that shit come from? So a lot of dudes, when they get taken advantage of sexually by an older woman, usually it's not people. A lot of people kind of try to glorify it, make it seem like, damn, I was a kid. I wish I got some pussy. No. It's just as traumatic for a kid as a boy as it is for a girl. 50 Cent was too? Wow, I didn't know that. You did? But the interesting thing is, a lot of times when that happens to dudes, they grow up very abusive. Niggas get, become stomped down pimps. I know a lot of pimps who are molested by women. I remember, if you remember the blaxploitation movie Sweet Sweetback Badass Song, there was a scene in the beginning of the movie where the character, he was a kid and he had sex with an adult woman. It was real weird. And Lil Wayne at age 11, wow. But, R. Kelly was molested by his sister. And that's what they said. And it seems there's always this desire to demean and degrade the women. Everything is all about degradation. You got to degrade them. That's what the peeing on them and all that. Everything is all about degrading them. And with R. Kelly, most of the girls, if you see, most of the women he got with were like kind of dark skinned. Most of the women should damn near all of them, besides one or two, but most of the women he got with were dark skinned women. You dig? And that's very interesting. When there's a certain type, there's a certain pattern of women you're going for. Degradation equals control. I mean, to the point where he was controlling them, not just with the peeing and all that old bullshit. Yeah, it's like a revenge thing. All those women represent the sister and his mother because there's a lot of misplaced anger there about his mother, probably for not protecting him from that. You understand? We're trying to get into the mind of this psycho ass nigga. And this ain't to justify this nigga's bullshit, but just understand where shit like that comes from. You dig? And, I remember Selena Johnson, she talked about, because she worked with him up there. And Selena Johnson, she did an interview years ago. And she talked about how she went to the studio and she brought her then husband with her. And R. Kelly was kind of freaking out because R. Kelly don't like no dudes around. See, R. Kelly don't like dudes around. And that's a very interesting thing too. R. Kelly really has a problem with a lot of men. He don't like men around. That's why when people say, well, how come men didn't do that? Now, R. Kelly insulates himself from men. He don't like men around because, see, you got to be the alpha male in the room. So that means you don't want no other men around so you can kind of dominate everybody. You don't want no, unless it's like some people who's working for him or something like that. But yeah, they said, yeah, unless there's some niggas who work for him. But yeah, she said he don't like men around. And that's probably why Jay-Z and those cats were having issues with them on tour. Remember when they were going on that the Best of Both Worlds tour? R. Kelly was on some bullshit. R. Kelly was on some bullshit, and Jay-Z's people trying to step to his folks with hands. They had to step to them niggas, man, because he was on some fuck nigga shit. R. Kelly kept trying to control shit, not showing up, complaining about the lights, talking about somebody there trying to shoot him. R. Kelly was doing some real fuck nigga shit. That's why Dame wasn't really fucking with that project like that. Dame said he didn't put his name on the Best of Both Worlds project because he didn't fuck with R. Kelly like that. Dame wasn't down with it because remember, Dame was engaged to Aaliyah. So Dame was like, and that's when Dame said the whole Rockefeller thing kind of started going downhill after that whole thing. Yeah, but yeah, he got Jay's boys, they maced him. They're about to stab him up, mace him, yeah, because R. Kelly was on some fuck nigga shit. Let's be real, R. Kelly, even in the documentary, they were talking about how, he was like real shy and timid when he was young. Yeah, R. Kelly was on some fuck boys. He was a fuck boy. As a musician, you get to play this ladies' man and all this old stuff. When you get older, you get to act like you some kind of boss player or whatever. But R. Kelly was a fuck nigga and is a fuck nigga who's very talented musically. He was a fuck nigga who's just very musically talented. So other men, the minute he get around other men who's not on his payroll, there's a problem. There's a problem. No, Jethro, the thing is with R. Kelly, I don't think he has any kind of mental disabilities like that. One of the reasons why he probably couldn't read, a lot of times when you're a kid and you go through something traumatic, that fucks with your learning. Him being molested as a kid and, you going to school and, something like that, you done got molested by your fucking sister, sexually violated, then you got to go to school with this shit on your mind. You can't really focus. As a boy, you confused, that shit fucks you up. He might be dyslexic, but yeah, being traumatized as a young kid fucks you up. My man, Freeway Ricky Ross. Ricky Ross saw one of his relatives get killed when he was a kid. That fucked him up. He couldn't read. Freeway Ricky Ross couldn't read. He had to learn how to read older, and who helped him was another drug dealer named Harry O. Harry O helped him read in prison, helped him learn how to read. But Rick told me, you know, when he got shot at a very young age, and then they kind of whisked him through school or whatever. But shit like that traumatizes you. So when you are a person who becomes an adult and you've never learned how to read, meaning that you can't communicate in certain ways. So if you have a lax or a deficiency in a major area like that, you will become extreme in other areas. So he became extremely talented. Sonically, he can hear things sonically. I'm talking about R. Kelly. So musically, his music senses became more enhanced. But also, this motherfucker's perversion, too. You know? Not only did his music sensibilities get enhanced, his goddamn perversion became enhanced, too. And going back to my man Rick Ross, he became extreme with his trapping. My nigga Rick, he couldn't read, but he like, I can count. I can't read for shit, but I can count these millions of dollars I'm making slinging these birds. So he became an extreme counter. So my nigga, he got a brick and flipped that bitch until he couldn't flip it no more. You know? Man. Yeah, a lot of artists suffer from some kind of trauma. Yeah, his music is just genius. But also, you listen to his music, it's very telling. This is why, and I was listening to Professor Black Truth earlier. Shout out to him. He was talking about how these people were bringing their children to R. Kelly. Remember, they want someone, well, R. Kelly can give my kid a record deal. And acting shocked, over the shit that was happening to their children after they brought them to him. Like, R. Kelly, why would you bring your kid to a person who makes music like R. Kelly? R. Kelly's music, everything is about graphic sex. I know, look, R. Kelly doesn't have a whole catalog of I Believe I Can Fly type of songs. R. Kelly's entire catalog, especially in those days, was all about extremely graphic sex. You dig? So you bring your kid and they're like, hey, go hang with him. Maybe he can make you a star. Come on, you didn't. Come on. Oh, I didn't know what happened. R. Kelly did what? I can't believe what happened. You can't believe that a motherfucker whose album has songs like 12 Play, Bump and Grind, Seems Like You're Ready, Your Body's Calling. Every song is about graphic sex, and now you acting like you don't know why your daughter is somewhere having a threesome with this nigga. Come on. Feeling on your booty, doing it in the Jeep, sex in the Jeep, everything. You remind me of the Jeep, and come on. You dig? So yeah, we're gonna have to look at how black folks are so hungry for the bag that you'll serve your kids up. Let's just be real. That's a problem we have. You get so hungry for the bag, you'll serve your kids up knowing that a person's on the bullshit. Knowing a person's on that bullshit, you don't serve your kids up to that. You and then act dumb and surprised. And again, these niggas are acting dumb and surprised now because probably the little paper done dried up. Your kids shouldn't cost nothing. Will they try to lock R. Kelly up now? They might try to do some kind of humbug charge on him. It's going to be kind of difficult because none of the victims ever pressed charges. That's the only reason they ain't got him locked up now. Nobody's ever pressed charges, and now, nobody's never pressed charges. And the thing is, when you look at the documentary, a lot of the women that he started getting with a little later on were actually of age, but he was still smacking them around and doing all this old stupid shit. So, they would have to really reach for some charges, and you dig? It's too late now. You dig? Now they can try some, but I don't even think it'll stick unless he just do some real stupid shit. I don't even think it will stick unless he just do some real dumb shit. You dig? So the thing is, we got to understand that he's been doing this shit for a long time. R. Kelly Revival, no, he's been doing it for a long time, and a lot of these people around him, they were totally cool with it as long as they were getting some money out of it. So he revived Charlie Wilson. Well, understand, look. So he revived Charlie Wilson, but if it wasn't for Charlie Wilson, you would not have an R. Kelly. You understand that if it weren't for Charlie Wilson, you would not have an R. Kelly. Understand how certain artists influence each other, and they pass down that influence, and then the artists that they influence, they put some enhancements on it. For example, you had Stevie Wonder. He came out. Stevie had his own style. I wonder who Stevie was influenced by. I can't remember. I can't remember who Stevie said he was influenced by. But Stevie came out doing his thing. Stevie influenced Charlie Wilson. If you listen to listen to some of the old Stevie Wonder songs in the 70s, you can hear where Charlie Wilson got a lot of his influence. Charlie Wilson, excuse me, Charlie Wilson got a lot of his stuff from Stevie. If you listen to the Gap bands, a lot of their stuff, some of those runs, you could hear the influence of Stevie Wonder. Also with Charlie Wilson and the Gap band, Charlie got a lot of the vocal inflections from Stevie, but he got a lot of his style and stage presence and swag from Rick James. Charlie has admitted that. Charlie, when he came out to California and they got the Gap band popping, he started hanging around Rick, and he saw how Rick was popping. Rick was the dude. People really underestimate how Rick James was that nigga. Rick James was that dude. A lot of people were really influenced by Rick James. Rick James back in the late 70s, early 80s would have the boots and the cowboy shit on. And you notice in the Gap band videos, they started wearing the cowboy hats, and they had that whole cowboy thing going on. You dig? Yeah, Stevie was way before Donny Hathaway. Donny Hathaway was the shit too. Donny Hathaway was the shit. Yeah. Charlie did sound like Stevie Wonder on Computer Love. Yeah. So, Charlie had his own vibe going on in the 80s with the Gap band thing. Now, Charlie, unfortunately, got on that narcotic in the late 80s. Charlie, and he's admitted this, and I'm one of the biggest Charlie Wilson fans ever, so I read his book. And, we would see Charlie around town at the time, and Charlie got on crack. Charlie was like a full-out crackhead. Charlie was a crackhead. So Charlie, he got out the game. And Charlie was out the game for a minute. When Charlie got out the game, when he got out the spotlight for a minute, other people took his style in the late 80s. Aaron Hall, that's when R. Kelly And those guys came through. And Aaron Hall, first it was Guy, when Teddy Riley started putting them hip hop beats, because that's what New Jack Swing is. New Jack Swing is like really hip hop beats, because Teddy Riley was producing like Kumo D and all these people. So somebody told him, it was actually Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat told him, because he worked on Keith Sweat's album, The Make It Last Forever. And Keith Sweat was the one who told Teddy Riley, hey man, those hip hop beats, let's do some R&B over that shit. So he got Aaron Hall. It was a brother named Timmy Gatlin, who was one of the original members of Guy. Teddy Riley was in like another kiddie band with him. Something happened with Timmy Gatlin where they had to get Aaron Hall's brother, Damian Hall, and Guy. And everybody was comparing Aaron Hall's vocals to Charlie Wilson in the Gap Band. Aaron Hall, that shit was Charlie Wilson, because Charlie was out the game for a minute, and Charlie's style was hot, so they're like, hey, dum dum diddy, dum dum diddy, all that shit. Guy was the shit. That's why Guy only put out like 2 or 3 albums. Those first, they put out an album later on, the third album later on, but those first 2, classics. And then R. Kelly came around, and they were saying that R. Kelly took Aaron Hall's style, but both of them were basically doing the inflections of Charlie Wilson. You dig? Yeah. So they were both doing inflections of, and R. Kelly and Aaron had a little beef because Aaron said R. Kelly cut his hair like him, because Aaron was bald, Aaron cut his hair bald, then R. Kelly cut his hair bald, so it was kind of a little friction there. And R. Kelly took that style and then put his own flavor on it and just took it to another level. And remember, Charlie Wilson was still out the game at this time. Charlie Wilson got back in the game really because of Snoop. It wasn't R. Kelly that brought him back. It was Snoop that brought him back. Snoop brought Charlie Wilson back. Snoop would have Charlie Wilson on some of those Death Row records with him. And Tupac didn't like it. Tupac was like, Charlie Wilson, he's going to make your shit look soft. And Snoop was like, no, Charlie's the shit. We gotta have him down. So that's what brought Charlie Wilson back, was Snoop. Now when R. Kelly did that first name Charlie, last name, that shit was popping. That shit was popping. Yeah, go read Charlie Wilson's book. Very good book. Very good book. Yeah, that's where the whole Uncle Charlie thing came from. That came from Snoop, man. Yeah, and remember, even before last name Charlie, first name Charlie, last name Wilson, Charlie was on like that beautiful yeah, so Charlie was doing his thing. But that first name Charlie, last name Wilson, that shit really popped off. Say the third guy album was good, but it was way late. Yeah, because it was a whole different. The New Jack Swing wasn't in no more, so they had to compete with new styles. Hell yeah, that shit still slaps. Unblock You, Kevin Drake. Unblock you where? Where did I block you, brother? Kevin Drake, where did I block you? I hate when niggas be saying unblock me like I know who the hell you are. I don't know who you are, and I don't know where I block you. Yeah, guy was the business. I block you on Instagram. What did you do to make me block you, bro? What did you do to make me block you? Because I don't block people for no reason. What'd you do? And I rarely unblock people. So Rick James was gay. Where did you hear that? I ain't never heard that. Rick James loves pussy. Say, why do black people play dumb when it suits them? Because playing dumb keeps you from doing certain things. It keeps you from taking certain action. Yeah, we got a real bad habit of playing dumb. Yeah, we got a real bad habit of that. And that's probably why I block you. I got this thing now. If you acting dumb on social media, I just block your ass. Because a lot of people just act dumb for attention. A lot of people act dumb so they can just engage in a pointless, endless conversation because there's a lot of lonely niggas and lonely hood rats out here on social media. And they'll say some dumb shit or some oppositional shit just for the sake of saying it so people can engage in them. And I don't get down like that. I'm not about to sit here and help a lonely motherfucker have some internet company and just have you sitting up here talking dumb shit. Just like when we were talking about that R. Kelly show, and we were talking about how none of the women pressed charges, we had a couple of people jumping in the chat room acting dumb. Like, hey, wait a minute, you sound like you trying to give an excuse. These women had suffered. Okay, block. When you start making up a false argument in your mind and whining and complaining about something that wasn't said, you got to go. Yeah, if you complaining in the chat room and whining about something that nobody said, you got to go. Yeah, that's why a lot of people are playing dumb. They're deliberately playing dumb. A lot of them are trolling. When you see a lot of people talking, if you try to bring up a logical point and they'll just say some off-topic shit, like if you say, hey man, these producers behind this R. Kelly thing, you know, they're actually working with this organization. Hey, and they jump, hey man, what about the victim though? What about these man? These women is suffering. R. Kelly had sex with them when they were 14 years old. Okay, those somebody just trolling for it. They're deliberately saying something stupid, and they know it's stupid. Let's be clear. They know it's stupid, and they know that you're going to engage in it. That's why they're saying it. They just want you to engage in a conversation with them. Every time, you notice that every time you say something, somebody will come in there being contrary just to be contrary. Whatever you say, if you say, hey man, the new BTK concert, man, the B2K is about to go on tour, man. I love to go on tour. It's always going to be somebody in the chat room pretending to be offended. Man, B2K, man, that's managed by Chris Stokes. Chris Stokes is a child molester, man. Why you going to support that? That's just somebody acting stupid. Man. Man. I've been on for a minute, man. I've been on here for a minute. Yeah, the group JS was one real cute sister. Both of them were cute, but it was the group JS. And Ronald Isley, old ass, married one of them fine ass girls, and I think he got her ass pregnant. He married her ass and knocked her up with some 73-year-old sperm. How your sperm old? That nigga sperm had a walker. My nigga put some old 70-year-old sperm in that pussy. That nigga sperm took a nap on the way to the ovaries. Shout out to Ronald. Did he knock that woman up? Yeah, that sister was fine as hell. I popped my collar to Ron Isley for getting that. I popped my collar to that. That wasn't his kid? Oh, Oh, yeah, everybody hit the like button, by the way. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. But nigga, I know his sperm was sounding like John Lewis. I feel blood in Selma. His sperm stopped to vote before it went to the ovaries. I got to vote. I swam across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Ronald Isley's sperm had to swim through the civil rights marches in order to fertilize the egg. And I love Ronald Isley. Shout out to Ronald Isley. Ronald, I would like for you to be on the Mink Slide album. Don't let me and my foolishness stop you from being on the Mink Slide album, please. But my nigga put some of that 70-something-year-old sperm in that fine-ass woman. Man. Yeah, brother, you late. We talked about that hours ago. Macrimony. Oh yeah, Angela Winbush has always been the shit. I love Angela Winbush. As a matter of fact, on a Mink Slideshow, we did a cover of Renee and Angela's song. We did a little cover of it, paying homage to them. Angela Winbush was the shit. Yeah. Yeah, he was married to Angela Winbush. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I said R. Kelly had a room for everybody. Yeah, that nigga was on some bullshit, man. Yeah, but you know, with that whole thing, I don't like people playing this whole bullshit ass surprise role. Like, oh, we need to talk about molestation. Now, look, we need to talk about that shit anyway. We don't have to wait until white people come and snap their fingers with their own bullshit agenda. They got they got an agenda of their own. We don't have to wait until they come in the room and snap their fingers. This is some shit that we can be handling ourselves. And what's funny, a lot of these shea butters sit up here and talk about what black men need to do. Black men need to step up and protect, but we need to talk about molestation and we need to be vocal about it and vocal against it. This is what the shea butter feminists who work at Ebony and Jet and The Root and all these people talk about. But when we did Hidden Colors 4, remember in Hidden Colors 4, we actually talked about that. In Hidden Colors 4, we talked about the historical context of molestation within black society. We talked about that. We talked about where we get a lot of that filth from, that incest and pedophilia and molestation, where we pick it up from and how we pass it down generationally, where it happens, what cities it occur in. We broke that shit down in Hidden Colors 4, if you remember. And those same shea butters, those are the ones who say that, well, Hidden Colors, that's ashy hotep shit. You understand? Those same people are the main ones talking about, oh, that Hidden Colors, that's some ashy hotep bullshit. So they're fake as far as that. So I don't want to hear shit from them. That's why when they're talking all their bullshit about what brothers need to do, you're fake as shit. They're fake, 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 fake. Because when we do it independently of Zaddy, because that's the thing. Whenever we do things and white mommy and white daddy ain't involved, they're the main ones attacking the shit. Whenever we do something on our own and there's no white hand controlling how we're doing it, those are the main minions of white supremacy who comes and tries to undermine it every single time. Let me tell you something. I've been in the game for a long time. Been writing books. My books came out 2000, best-selling books. And I've always gotten glowing press. I've always had great articles written about me by the mainstream press, the so-called black press, which is really an offshoot of the mainstream press. I've been in the source. I've been in a lot of magazines, even before, way before Hidden Colors, way before Hidden Colors. I would be in a lot of magazines. They would speak very highly of me. I was in magazine after magazine, getting praised, even on television shows, getting praised for my books, my dating and relationship books, getting props. The minute I did Hidden Colors, that is the first time I ever started getting negative press. I've never received really any negative press until I started doing Hidden Colors. When I started doing Hidden Colors, all of a sudden, I started getting negative press. It's never happened before. And what's funny, I was getting negative press by the same people who would have me on doing my books. Remember, I was on Fox News promoting my books. I was on Fox promoting The Elite Way. You did? Speaking of Ebony and Jet, Jet Magazine wrote a nice article about me years ago, promoting my books. Jet Magazine wrote a great article about me. I've been in the source twice. You did? But the minute I started doing Hidden Colors, when I did something independently, and I'm doing something about Black history, all of a sudden, you're misogynistic. I've never been called misogynistic until I did Hidden Colors. All of a sudden, he writes misogynistic books. I've been promoting these books. These books have been huge bestsellers all over the place, all over MTV, BET. I've been on everything. They're promoting my book, sitting there giggling, loving it. All of a sudden, when I do Hidden Colors, now I'm a misogynist. Whoa, I'm a what? Then I became a misogynist. You dig? Now I got my house getting raided. Dude, my books were selling so much. Remember, I was on MTV in the mid 2000s. They had me when I started doing VH1 and Made. My books were selling all around the world. We did an episode. They had a show called MTV Made. The episode I was teaching a white kid some game. They kept flying me up there to Nevada. We did that thing for months. They kept flying me back and forth, and they had me staying in a casino. I was staying at a hotel in a casino, so I was living lovely. They had me straight. And we were doing that. We did an episode called Made, on the show Made, and it became the highest rated episode. Everybody liked the shit because I was kicking some real game. They would have, how on the show Made, they would have Made coaches come over there and teach people certain things. And they were like, this guy, he wants to be a player. He wants to have some games. So they had me on there and I'm just being myself. And they loved that shit. It was the biggest episode, the highest rated episode. And it rated so high, they gave me a special. They gave me a spring break special on MTV. They had never done that for any other Made coach. Did y'all see the spring break special? I got to find that somewhere. I tried to put it up on YouTube years ago, but Viacom flagged it. So they wouldn't let me put it on the net. But we did a spring break episode where they flew me and the white kid, his name was Brian. They flew us down to Florida during spring break, and I was giving them game on spring break. Yeah. Yeah. Do y'all know these books were selling just out? They couldn't print them shits fast enough. Selling through the roof. Then I started doing stuff with VH1. At this time, they had I was flued out. I got flued out to Florida. So around this time you had the Flavor of Love popping off. The Flavor of Love started popping off. And this was the first time all that coonery became really mainstream. This new coonery, I call it new coonery, where it's just straight out coonery. And with Flavor of Love, remember when Flavor of Love first came out, this is the beginning of the ratchet shows. This is the beginning of ratchet reality shows. It started with Flavor of Love. I want y'all to remember that. It's normal now, though. Love and Hip Hop, Bad Girls Club. It's normal to see niggas fighting and hood rats fighting and pulling each other's hair. All of that started with Flavor of Love. That buffoonery. No, let's go back. Let me go back a little bit. Was about the Hitch thing. Because when I did the Art of Mackin, when we did the Art of Mackin, when that first came out in 2000, it was nothing like that out. It was nothing like the Art of Mackin out. There was nothing like it out. It was a very unique book, and I knew how to promote it very well because it wasn't on no goofy Huggy Bear bullshit. It was just about having some real good game, and they were feeling the shit that I was saying. So the book was really, really taking off. And they were seeing how these books, and this is when I was signed to a black publisher out of Chicago. It was some Jamaican dudes. That's where I got my first book deal. My first book deal was with a black company with some Jamaican cats who put out the Art of Mackin. And I found them randomly. I got a book called The Literary Marketplace because I didn't know shit about publishing. I said, I got this real good book with some real good game in it. Let me find somebody to publish it. Because I didn't know shit about publishing, but I just knew how to write a real good book. So I just did some eeny, meeny, miny, mo shit. I found this independent publisher out of Chicago. And, I looked for somebody who could do black books. So they put out some black books before, some urban books, and they knew how to really get it on the streets. So that's who I went with. My book deal for the Art of Mackin, and I think I talked about this before. Do y'all remember? Y'all remember me talking about this before? My Art of Mackin book deal? How much I got? Let me see if y'all remember, because I think I talked about it before. Yeah, the publishing company was in Chicago. Frontline Books. I don't even know if they're still there. But it was a company called Frontline. I'm going to get back to charm school in a minute. 10 G's? Oh, hell no. No. Boy, y'all way off. There you go. Somebody got it. No, I didn't get no $50. Not for the Art of Mackin. Nigga, for the Art of Mackin, I got $800. I got an advance of $800. This was a small publishing company. This was a small publishing company with a couple of Jamaican cats. They offered me $400. I said, give me $8. Okay. My advance for the Art of Mackin was $800. The Art of Mackin sold 250,000 copies. The Art of Mackin sells today. It's still a bestseller right now. No, I'm good because, I'm still getting paid off that book. But I got an $800 advance, which, not a complaint because, I started getting royalty checks from them, but, they were kind of fucking around with my royalty checks. So I didn't have a big overhead. So they didn't have to recoup that much. So all all the book sales became profit, but it still had to, they had to get their cut. And I got like, what, 8% of the book. It was some real bullshit. Like 8%, 10%. I forgot. I would get a couple of $1,000s from them every few months. Okay. Now, the thing is, and I'm glad I had to get out the deal with those guys because the book was taking off so much and movie studios kept calling and they kept wanting to buy the rights to the book. They were calling left and right, trying to get the rights to the book, and they were throwing big money at me to get the rights to The Art of Mackin. But the dudes running the company, they kept fucking the deals up. They kept fucking the deals up. So they would contact me, but I didn't own the rights to the book because, you know, they had the rights to the actual book because they were the publisher. So they kept fucking the deals up. And they wanted to do a book about, they wanted to kind of do a movie about a dude who's teaching guys game, because that's what I was doing. I was teaching dudes game. Where I was not on 30 Rock. I was not on that. So years later, after all this finagling and all my deals with the movie studios getting fucked up, they came out with Hitch, which everybody thought I got a piece of that because everybody wanted to get the book. So they thought that everybody was congratulating me. Yeah. Everybody thought that I had something to do with that because it was the book and it was the shit that I was doing. I'm like, no. No. That's some shit that it just basically got out of my stuff. So I got lawyers and I got out of the contract with the I learned about Hollywood stealing shit very early on. Boy, I learned this very early on. So, you know, I'm gonna put up that BET episode I did in 2000, years before, where I was going around teaching dudes how to have game, how to dress, how to get your mouth right. That I was doing that. Now, when The Art of Mackin came out, they started putting out other books that were just biting the shit out of The Art of Mackin. Even some of the titles. Somebody put out a book. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you how slick they were. Hold on one sec. Come on, Amazon. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. This is some of the slick little shit they were doing. I started learning a lot of shit they started doing. Now, what a lot of publishers will do and a lot of studios will do, they will find certain keywords and make another product with the same keywords of something that's already selling. They'll find something with particular keywords that's popular, that's selling, and they will do something similar with their own keywords. Now, I wrote my book, The Art of Mackin. Huge bestseller. Hold on, I'm fucking up over here. There was a book that they put out, some major publisher put out, called Mac Tactics. Y'all see this? There was some book by some, I don't even know who this person is. It was some shit talking about Mac Tactics. The science of seduction meets the art of hostage negotiations. You dig? So they were just like from Chamberlain Books or whoever. So, and they got my book. Y'all see they got my books up here. All my books here. So this came out like 2005, something like that. So, dude, I'm telling you, they were biting my shit so hard. Yeah, the art of snacking, just all these little books doing little word plays on my shit. They did the same thing with the movie Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures is the same shit. When I did Hidden Colors, that popped off. So they did Hidden Figures. Same thing with Hidden Figures. Yeah, I don't even know what that book is about. I ain't even bother to read no shit like that. Right, like art of. It's a art of, but macking. You know what I'm saying? They're throwing in those keywords in there. Oh yeah, those seduction. Then after my books came out, all of a sudden, in the early 2000s, you had all these seduction websites popping up. They were not there before my books. You had all these seduction books popping off. And there's another one, David D'Angelo. Do y'all remember him as a white boy? Hold on, let me see if his shit is still on the net. Let me see if his shit is on the net. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if his stuff is on the net. Hold on, because he was using some shit from some wording on my shit. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I'm looking up something real quickly. Y'all bear with me 1 second. I'm doing some researching while I'm talking. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, this dude, his art of seduction. Where is it? Where's this? Where's David D'Angelo shit? Hold on. I don't know if his shit is on Amazon no more. Hold on 1 second. Because yeah, then this white boy, David D'Angelo, started doing this art of seduction shit. And okay, his stuff. Let me. Here we go. David D'Angelo. Okay, he must have took it. He done took his stuff off Amazon. Hold on. Sorry guys. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Trying to see what this dude's stuff. I think this a bitch. Hold on. David D'Angelo, W dating. I'm trying to look at his work because I haven't seen this shit in years. So I haven't seen his shit in years. But this dude, W dating. Where is this shit? Even women. Attraction. Okay, his shit is just all over the place. But he would have that art of this and Mac and that, and he would have all those little keywords in his shit. And then all those seduction blogs, they would put up these seduction blogs all over the place and have my shit all up in there. Said Neil Strauss, and I know Neil Strauss. I was working with some producers. They were trying to get me and Neil Strauss a television show. The chemistry wasn't really there, but Neil was real respectful with me. Yeah, me and him were real cool. But the point is, these dudes started jacking my shit left and right. And all these pickup artists started using my stuff to get these blogs popping, and they started getting books going. So that kicked off that whole PUA movement. And I would go to, and I was already clicked in with VH1. And whenever I would talk to them, because I'm clicked in with them, I'm already doing shows with them. And I dealt with a lot of male execs at the time. Let's go back. I'm going all over the place. It's a whole bunch of shit. Neil Strauss is full of shit. My Hitch is based off him. That's bullshit. And Neil knows that. Neil knows me. Neil knows me. And Neil knows it wasn't no goddamn hits based off him. I've got documented proof. I was doing this. I was doing this shit on television years before Hitch came out. I was on television coaching dudes on game, teaching them how to have a tight mouthpiece. These dudes came around 2005, 2006. So no. Oh God, damn it! It's the food. Hold on. Hey, come on in. Come on in. Oh, come on in. Go to the door. I hate dumbass Postmates. Okay, they can't open the gate. Okay, go to the door. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Delivering food. I hate when I get Postmates. I meant the gate. I meant the gate. What is it called? What is it called? I don't know. They called. I said, he be trying to tell him all you got to do is, I tried to dial the number and I could not dial the code. What is the code? Well, what you got to do? Because it is the gate and I saw it on the thing. I'm trying to tell, but I tried to dial the code and I did not get it dialed on. Oh my God. Bitch, will you listen? Man. All right. Surviving Grubhub, hilarious. Now, what was I saying? I got thrown off. Where was I? What was I talking about? Yeah, man. Y'all be talking about the peanut cook. Y'all know we got 3 fucking kids. You gotta chase these damn kids around. We got 3 kids. Niggas be talking about y'all ain't cooking. Like you ain't got a stove full of ramen noodles, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Y'all get off there. Your wife don't be cooking. Let's stop it. Like you sitting at home with goddamn Paula Dean or some shit. Y'all cut that out. Let's stop acting like you sitting there with an apron on and a pot full of stuffing and shit. Let's stop. Like you ain't got hot dog water on the stove that's been sitting there for 3 fucking days. Stop it. Yeah, she cook when we can. We got 3 fucking babies running around the house. Damn, we can't do that shit every day. You dig? Man, please. It's hard running around with these damn kids. We got little bitty ass kids running around the house tearing up shit. And they be trying to jump on the stove and you gotta cook with that and then chase them around and run after them. And yeah, she cook all the time. Yeah, well, Peanut cooks all the time. We don't cook every day. And usually on Sunday, we went down to the Skirball Center with the kids. So we're running around all day with my daughter earlier. So we're here. You know, then you got to go bathe all these kids and then put the kids to sleep. You know, that's how families work. See, y'all niggas talking that. You ain't cooking every day. You motherfuckers got to survive like you on Survivor Island and shit. You sitting in your backyard with some sticks making fire because you by your goddamn self. Lord. Boy, this rabbit meat gonna be so good. You lonely motherfucker. With families, we do family shit. We ain't like some of you lonely motherfuckers who got to sit up and eat by yourself and talk to a soccer ball with a blood stain on it like Wilson. Wilson, we're going to have us some lunch meat today. Oh, Lord. How you like that bread pudding, Wilson? Oh, Lord, that shit is delicious. With your lonely ass. I got a family, motherfucker. We gotta do family shit. Y'all, you ain't got nobody. You just at the house by yourself. You and Wilson, the soccer ball. You want to go to the club, Wilson? You at the club with the soccer ball. Go Wilson. Go Wilson. Go Wilson. Go Wilson. Lonely. Don't bring y'all lonely shit to me. God damn. I got a family. You niggas. What, you ain't cooked? Me and Wilson, we eat every day. I done fried up some wings for me and Wilson. How you don't cook and me and Wilson, we be cooking every day. Ain't that right, Wilson? Wilson loves him some buffalo wings. Yeah, they got one of them Chinese blow-up dolls. Nigga, me and Kathy, we just ate. You ain't cooking? Hey, Kathy, do you believe Tariq ain't cooking? You up here like a ventriloquist with your sex doll. The doll got crust all around the mouth where you done bust on her. Hey, Kathy, can you believe Tariq don't be cooking? No, I don't believe it. That's what I'm saying. Oh, I'm gonna make some good love to you tonight. Y'all crazy bastards. I'm glad you ain't like Peanut. Boy, you be cooking so good. That's why I fucks you right. That's why I love you. I love you too, Daddy. My mind's telling me no. Y'all, this crazy as cat shit. Crazy as hell. With your sex doll. Man. So get off my wife talking about some goddamn cooking. Yeah, we order us some food every now and then. God damn. Leave my wife alone. And go deal with Kathy and make her some buffalo wings and shut the fuck up. All right? Oh, man. How many of y'all niggas sitting up there with a Kathy doll right now? Talking shit. And some of y'all niggas mad because you got a Kathy doll and then you had to get a low budget Kathy doll. You ain't even got a high tier Kathy doll. You got a Kathy doll that looks like Tarana Burke from Me Too. Yeah. So now you frustrated. Man. All right, what was I talking about? Excuse me. What was I talking about? Oh, I saw Young Jock's hair. That nigga. Young Jock just doing shit for attention. He's just doing shit for attention. Yeah, Young Jock, he's like, let me just do something with my hair because then it'll get me some clicks and likes. So, you know, he's working the game. Man. But anyway, y'all got me so off on what I was saying. And I got to go get my food. So now I can't even get back into it. So anyway, I'm about to go. Y'all had me getting all off track with the bullshit. But I got to go. Boy, it's a lot of y'all in here, but I got to go eat my food. And I got to go let y'all go make y'all some pancakes for Kathy. Yeah. But look, go get the North Sentinel Island shirts at hiddencolorsfilm.com. Hiddencolorsfilm.com. You can get the Mink Slide vinyl at minkslide.com. We got the vinyl out. I wish I had a copy of it here to show y'all. What else we got going on? ISM Radio. We're going to be doing ISM Radio this Tuesday. We'll be back at ISM Radio. Yeah, man, we're in here heavy. And go subscribe to my Tariq Time page too. Subscribe here, and also my backup page at Tariq Time here on YouTube. Y'all saw I did a little 11-minute expose on this YouTube fuck nigga. And I know you're in the room, fuck nigga. The little donkey, baby donkey ass nigga. That nigga CD Fury, I exposed this dude. So y'all can go see that video about some little nobody ass nigga that I had to expose. This nigga's doing all these little bullshit videos, so I had to expose who he is. This little funny looking Negro. Yeah, y'all saw it. Real good stuff. Yeah, a little nigga who looks like a little baby donkey. Yeah, and I only gave him 11 minutes. That's all I needed to get him. And I got his picture of this little bitch nigga doing all these exposing videos, and I exposed his ass. You dig? With his funny face, this nigga, his head is toddler, but his mouth donkey, little donkey face nigga. So I had to get him. So y'all can check that out for shits and giggles. But HC5, we're working on it now. It's coming. HC5 is coming, man. We coming heavy. We got some heavyweights in it, man. We got some game spitters in this one. You there? So anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Y'all follow me on Instagram, man. At Tariq Elite. Go to Mink Slide. Get that vinyl out, man. Get y'all, that's a collector's item right there. You want some R&B without the P? Get that. Ain't no bullshit with our shit. Some good, clean R&B. Yeah? So go to minkslide.com. You understand me? Oh, yeah. Some of y'all don't like Polite, but Polite is in it. He's going to be in HC5. Brother Polite is going to be in HC5. I've had people say, oh, you shouldn't have him in it, but Polite has been respectful to me. So Polite's been cool with me. Polite has shown me nothing but respect, and the shit he's spitting is real hot. So I'm definitely going to have Polite in the movie. He's going to be in it. You dig? Polite is spitting some real good shit. So y'all got some whatever with him. That is what it is. But Polite's going to be in it. So y'all just get your mind ready for that. What's up with the school? Oh, Lord. And I know people are still upset. Wasn't there supposed to be an announcement about the Sam Cooke, Peebo Bryson, Teddy Riley, Martin Luther King, sweet potato pie, alkaline water school for boys? And there's no announcement. And then, okay, I know. Yeah, what y'all expect? Did y'all really expect an announcement? Did you really expect an announcement? I want to see this shit just keep playing out as long as it does. I like people staying on his neck. It's funny because for a minute, just don't get frustrated about it. Don't be expecting this shit. You stay on his neck about it. That's funny. Just hearing the excuses is funny. Hearing all the excuses and just seeing all the shit gets the goalpost gets pulled back. Oh, that shit is funny. That shit is funny. People, but who's seriously waiting? I mean, let's be real. Who's seriously waiting on the Melba Moore, Luther Vandross, Freddie Jackson, Tina Turner, Emmanuel Lewis, Gary Coleman School for Girls? Who's really expecting it to pop off? I mean, really? Do you really expect it to pop off? Okay. Okay. Man, please. The excuses have become entertainment. That's funny. Just all the excuses are funny. Yeah. What happened was, I got abducted by aliens. They were doing an anal probe and they got my DNA, and then they recreated my ancestor, Frederick Douglass. So now we actually built the school, but the school is on Mars. So there, the school is on Mars now. That's what's happening with the school. So the school is on Mars. We need your resume. And now you got to have a degree in astrophysics to teach there because there's no atmosphere and there's no oxygen. So you're going to have to know how to deal in astrophysics. Come on, the school has already been built. That's why he got to wait to announce it because he got to get back from Mars. You know, it takes about 2-3 light years to get back, so that's why it's taking so long. So the school is on Mars. The school already built. Frederick Douglass, they took the DNA from his anal probe and made Frederick Douglass. And Frederick Douglass is the principal. Frederick Douglass is the principal of the school on Mars. So Frederick Douglass he's going to get all the unruly the kids out of school. You smoke crack, don't you? No, Frederick Douglass. You're in my school, you're smoking crack. Don't you smoke crack? No, Frederick Douglass. I said if you're going to smoke crack, you're killing yourself, so jump. Jump off the school. Frederick Douglass is running the school like Joe Clark. You got aliens in the bathroom. Fair East Side. Fair East Side. Say my name, say my name. Oh, that school is popping. Y'all just don't know. The school is popping right now. That's why the announcement, come on, man. Y'all stop fucking around. Y'all gotta trust my brother. Oh, God. Oh. Lord. Oh, God. Anyway, man. Let me get out of here. I'm not going to be here all night fucking with y'all asses. God damn it. I got things to do. I got to go ahead and do some work with Hidden Colors. And y'all got me on here. Me, you, Kathy, the sex doll. Y'all got to feed Kathy now. All right, let me get out of here, man. Go to hiddencolorsfilm.com. Get Hidden Colors HC4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And also get 1804. That's at hiddencolorsfilm.com. All right, I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a good week, man. IZM Radio, IZM Radio this week, this Tuesday. Tune in.